Hello everyone. If you catch this live, could you put live in the comments? If you catch it as a replay, can you put in a replay? I really do like to find out when people are jumping on, and so that I can time it better to meet most of my friends, because I do enjoy sharing some of this information. And since I'm talking about brain health this week, it's really important to me that the people that I love and care about catch this video. So today is day 2 of our 7-day journey for an ultra brain. So if you are catching this for the very first time with me, let me just catch you up really quickly. My mother has Alzheimer's. She was diagnosed in 2013. And we have been on quite the roller coaster journey with her Alzheimer's. But what it's done is it's put me on a mission to learn about brain health, and also to share what I'm learning with people, because what I've discovered is that good brain health actually begins when you're in your 20s. And if you're not doing what you need to be doing in your 20s, you know, each decade of your life as it progresses, more and more damage is being done, and we don't know about it. It's silent until we hit our senior years, and then all of a sudden we have issues. So hi Tiffany, thank you for joining me. So because I'm talking about brain health, it's really important to me that if this information resonates with you, or you know someone that it could help, that you please share the video. I have a group on Facebook as well called Nutrigenomics and the Alzheimer's Connection. If you know anyone who has Alzheimer's or is a caregiver of someone with Alzheimer's, please have them join the group, or look up the group, or share this video so they can find it themselves. So today is day 2 of how to have an ultra brain. And yesterday we talked about optimizing your nutrition. So if you didn't catch that, go back and catch that one. Today we're going to talk about balancing your hormones, because your hormones can actually really throw your system out of whack, and you can have issues in the brain that are only because your hormones are out of balance. So it's one of the key factors for whole body health, is to make sure that your hormones are in balance. And often hormone imbalances are the most undiagnosed things. We name them all these other things because of symptoms, instead of actually getting to the root cause, which a lot of times is hormonal imbalances. So the indicators that you have or might have a hormonal imbalance, I wrote them down so that I could remember them all, because there's quite a few. So the first thing is, if you are struggling with infertility or irregular periods, if you have sudden weight gain, hi Shelly, thanks for joining. If you have weight gain or weight loss that is not attributed to diet changes, if you suffer from fatigue, or the reverse, if you suffer from insomnia, if you have a low sex drive, if you're having digestive issues. So if you know, this was a big thing for my husband. He was so bad at one point, he couldn't even drink water. And when you're that bad, when food makes you miserable, when drinking water makes you miserable, you know that things are not good. So, the fact that he can eat anything now and do anything because of our NRF2 technology is just amazing to me. And I'm so grateful every single day. But, so hair loss is another one. Hair thinning is another one. Insulin resistance. So insulin resistance is caused by actually too much sugar. And if you caught my video yesterday, you'll know that or actually many of my posts, you'll know that that I think sugar is the devil. And in my own life, I'm having to learn to cut sugar out. Like, it's not something I've accomplished, but I've cut it out in a lot of ways. And then, I have my bad days and I'll go have that, chocolate cream pie or something, but I'm really working at it. I'm really trying to get sugar as minimal in my life as possible. Anxiety and stress are also indicators that you might have a hormonal imbalance. So that's caused by cortisol overload in your body. So you really need to manage your stress and manage your anxiety so that you can have a healthier body and a healthier brain. Like we are so intricately tied together, all of our systems. There are 7 systems in the body, and every one of them is tied to the other one. So when something goes wrong in one, it's going to affect all the other systems in the body. And I think that the more we learn about how those systems are tied together and how what we do in one affects the others, we begin to understand why whole body health and functional medicine, which practices whole body health, is so important. And it's a growing field right now because it is quickly becoming the stage, the main stage in the medical industry. So another sign that you might have a hormonal imbalance. Well, these ones definitely are hormonal imbalances. So if you have Hashimoto's, is inflammation of your thyroid gland. And Graves is overproduction of your thyroid hormone. So both of those are definite hormonal imbalances. Estrogen overload. If you have estrogen overload in your body, the things that you are, that is opening up in your body, or you are becoming susceptible to, is breast and cervical cancer and uterine cancer. If you have low progesterone, then you might be perimenopausal, PMS, anxiety, insomnia. All of those things might be tagged to low progesterone. Low testosterone. So if there's low testosterone, usually you're under stress a lot, like you are stressed out easily. Weight gain, a lack of exercise, like you just don't want to exercise, you don't want to move around, and you crave sugar. And then, of course, another sign that there is probably a hormonal imbalance is if you have depression or suffer, from bouts of depression. So I'm going to just state very clearly for all of you to hear me. It is strongly, strongly recommended that you seek advice from a functional medicine doctor to determine and treat a hormonal imbalance. I love doctors, and we have a great doctor. She's amazing, and she also happens to be my mother's doctor. But I really am firmly believe that functional medicine is so much better in this arena. And so if you think there is any possibility that you might have a hormonal imbalance, I strongly urge you to go and find a functional medicine doctor in your area and get treated by a functional medicine doctor. They will, or a naturopath, like that kind of thing, because they will definitely help you and not try to just give you a prescription to handle a symptom. Hi, Deanne. Thanks for joining. Your hormonal imbalance, yours was all over the place. Yeah, absolutely. Your hormones are crazy. And when we don't have them in balance, it causes all kinds of weird things to happen in us. And I used to think that our hormones were literally like estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, but it's so much more than that. I think when I looked at it, there's like 44 different kinds of hormones in our body or something like that. And they can all go out of whack. And if any one of them is out of whack, it affects us in another area. So I will tell you what not to do if you think that you have a hormonal imbalance, and that is do not eat sugar, do not eat dairy, do not eat soy, do not eat liquid calories like soda, things that have high calorie content in them, that is a beverage. And don't eat processed foods. Eat whole, green, clean foods. You do that, and you're giving your body a way better base for the hormonal balances to be fixed. And then you top that off with a functional medicine doctor who's specifically working on the individual hormones, and you'll find yourself in a way better place. Things you can do. So like I said, you got to eat your whole foods, eat your healthy fats, and then take the adaptogen herbs. So there are a handful of herbs that are called adaptogenics, and they really help the body, and they can actually adapt to your body and the needs of your body, which is really kind of cool. So one of them is ashwagandha, which happens to be in our NRF2 product. And one of the reasons I love it, again, so much, is it's all natural and it's amazing. So ashwagandha, there are medicinal mushrooms, rhodiola, and holy basil. Those are the ones that are called adaptogenic herbs. So if you can include those into your diet, that is always a really good thing to do. So another thing you can do is address your emotional imbalances. So that means reducing your stress level, engaging in personal reflection, journaling, taking time for yourself. And, you know, I gotta tell you a little story about myself. I'm telling on myself here. About 10 years ago, my life was so crazy that I literally had to schedule it in my calendar to give myself an hour a day for me. And I would set my alarm on my phone at I think it was at 8 o'clock at night. I had 1 hour. My alarm would go off and it would say, time for you. And then I would go to my bedroom away from my family, and I had a list on the wall of things that I liked to do just for me, so that I couldn't say, I'm just not feeling like it. Like, I would go in, I would see something on the list, and I would pick something, and I would focus on that for an hour. And I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but I literally had to do that for a year, for a whole year. I had to schedule in time for myself until I got into the habit of doing that, of taking care of myself. And sometimes we get so busy and so crazy and we think everything else matters, but you have got to take time for yourself, and that's part of emotional balance. And so if you need to address hormonal imbalances, a lot of times emotional imbalances play a part in that. So address that. And then I have so many friends who sell essential oils, and I love essential oils. I've loved essential oils for years and years and years, like 20 some odd years, right? But I've never taken a deep dive into the oils and what they do, but I do know that some of them are really good for hormonal imbalance. And so one of them is clary sage, which helps balance your estrogen. Fennel, which, oh my gosh, I'm so allergic to fennel and anything from the fennel plant, or, licorice, fennel, all of that stuff. But I don't mind the smell, but it does, it improves your gut health. And then lavender improves your emotional balance. Sandalwood increases your libido and reduces stress. And thyme improves your progesterone. So for the ladies, that low progesterone that I mentioned earlier, that's tied to perimenopause, PMS, anxiety, and insomnia. So the last piece of the nutrition, the last piece of balancing your hormones is filling the nutritional void. So if you are following what I said in the video yesterday, that talked about how to optimize your nutrition. So if you are optimizing your nutrition, you're probably not going to have nutritional voids that you have to fill in with supplements. So that's a big, you got to kind of hit it maybe from both directions at first until you get yourself into a good hormonal balance. But you definitely want to make sure, like we live in Washington State, and it can be rainy and cloudy and overcast, and so we don't get enough, vitamin D. So definitely knowing things like that about your area or your lifestyle, it's good to supplement the things that you need in your diet if you're not getting enough of it. So that is step 2, to have an ultra brain. And like I said before, please share this if you got value out of it. Share it to your friends and your family or anyone that you think could benefit from this information. I am happy to, chat with anyone or share with anyone on an individual basis if you, have questions about brain health. I don't say I'm an expert. I've been learning. I just absorb information as it comes in if it's related to the brain, because my mom has Alzheimer's, and it's really made me passionate about having good brain health and about prevention now, so that when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that you are not struggling with the issues of a degenerative brain, because our brain is what makes our life run. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of it. And so many times we think about taking care of our body and the physical form, but we don't think about the brain. So it's my mission to get everybody thinking about the brain. I love you guys. Thanks for joining, and I will see you tomorrow with step 3.